Jackson, Lennox,
We expect you to obey these rules, and I'll enforce them. Shake hands now. Return to your corners. Good luck.
And following it with power punches. There's a right hand, and down goes Jackson.
Well, we'll find out right quick whether Jackson's going to fight back.
Jackson says that in his other big occasion against Ruddock, he throws. Here he finally throws a punch. It's a wide winging left hook. He's going to be an easy target, George, if he keeps throwing them like that.
Throw those hooks afterwards, as Jackson is doing, you miss by a major margin.
That hurt Ruddock and set up the second round knockout.
That's pretty clever what Lewis is doing. He had so far away.
And now Jackson seems to see where it's coming from anyway. Should be seen as a very hard puncher.
Lewis range. Try not to get so close to Lewis's hand. Get close to his body.
Good sharp jab by Lennox Lewis. Now Lewis begins to stick the jab, and it's clearly going to bother Phil Jackson.
Quick flash knockdown from that right hand, right behind that left. Cut Jackson right on the point of the chin. Straight right hand.
Lewis's trainer remains Pepe Correa. A ton of criticism after Lewis's desultory performance in the first 6 rounds.
Once he set that thing down, he's not able to just pick it up and move. You almost have to stay on the ball of your ready to take off. When you lay that thing down as big as those feet are.
Lewis just snapped the jab and dominate with it like that. Larry describes as his instinct to be a natural counterpuncher.
That's exactly it.
Able to get close enough to Lewis to create some infighting. The brawling technique. His trainer, Pat Burns, says it's a good one.
Established, I can jab you. I think Lennox Lewis could panic. It's wrong. Panic. Oh.
As the real heavyweight champion will now stay with us in round 3.
I don't know why Lewis just doesn't want to take any. He's making a hard fight, an easy fight hard for himself by not stepping in with that jab.
You never know until a fight takes place.
So how interested are you in a unification bout?
I'm not saying down the road.
Or do you lean toward taking another fight first? IBF and WBA World Heavyweight Champion Michael Moore. And Michael, thanks for taking the time to join us.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the rest of the fight.
Thank you very much.
And has landed a couple of more blows to Lennox Lewis's head, and now misses with a wild right and a wild left. Has become the aggressor a little bit here in round 3, George.
Jackson, he's throwing punches, but he's not looking at what he's doing.
Invite Jackson to come in and throw and give him some opportunity.
Exactly. He's heavyweight champ of the world. A lot of times you'll fight guys that you're better than. When you're fighting for the title, you'll make a bad fighter good.
Well, Jackson's certainly excited now.
Here's the one good punch that Jackson landed in the fight. The right hand didn't have, not just take the fight.
That was a boxer. He's just a good right hand puncher. He would blind you like a man who couldn't see with that left hand, then throw that right. Well, you can be loyal and keep your trainer, but add another. Identify his style with. He's lost it. He doesn't know how to move.
Does anyone spring to your mind as the right kind of person to bring the aggression back to Lennox's game plan?
He's got everything. A lot of what he had has gone.
Good right hand to the body.
He decides to jab twice and throw a right hand. He'll drop Lewis.
There are 3 jabs and a right to the... lead with the right hand, right, George?
Let's do it.
In dominating round 4.
And it's what I call a brilliant amateur category. Of Roy Jones, I think of Hector Camacho. Get hit, and I'm going to be able to beat this guy easily.
Well, he's getting hit now, as Jackson has landed 2 right hands to get Lewis's attention just a little bit. Lewis goes back to the jab and hammers a right hand behind it.
And you notice Whenever Lewis lands a right hand, it's like that right hand is in jail. You got to come back with a hook if you have to. There's no Ray Leonard here.
Another right hand to the lower hit by Jackson. No word from Arthur McCandy.
Good right hand by
Another
Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, the overhand right.
We're going to see a different fight.
When Lennox reeled against the ropes a little bit, but now the right hand lands, and Jackson is going to be sleepy for a few seconds here. Eats the count.
That is the best right hand in boxing right now.
And Lewis gets in a couple of good ones after the bell, and the crowd boos. Knockdown won't count. The bell had already sounded.
Let's take a look at the knockdown and what he landed. There was a right on the ear and a delayed reaction, like a parachute that opens 10 seconds before it comes out of the plane.
Harold Donovan, they deducted a point from Lewis for hitting after the bell. Jackson's still wobbly unless he's playing possum. Lewis not exactly the most graceful finisher in the world, but he's got a lot of leather here. Crowd responds as Lennox takes one in return.
They're going to get you too.
And that's exactly what happened to Lewis there. Just teeing off with that overhand right. And Jackson takes advantage to land a right of his own.
He dropped real quick. Get low now. Get your head in his chest. Jackson should get low. Stay low.
Uppercut's a good change of pace for Lewis, the way he throws that overhand right all the time.
It's good and it hurts.
Jackson vowed that he wouldn't quit tonight the way he did against Ruddock, and so far...
While Lewis just well away. But you can't be on the outside. You got to get close.
Jackson trying to turn things around with the left hook. And Phil Jackson makes it through round 6 and seems for the moment the left hook. And then pounded against him until the referee eventually stopped the fight.
Lewis just threw a left hook to the body.
Good jabs from Lewis. Jackson followed by another.
All right. Stop.
Tape deal and biting Lewis to throw that right hand. You got to move your head.
Solid right hand again. This time Jackson takes it for the moment, but his legs are wobbly. The left hooks might have done the deed. Another right hand lands. And another over the top. Legs still wobbly for Jackson. Big opportunity for Lewis if he... Jackson hanging on for dear life here in the 7th.
Thus far, Jackson's proven he's no quitter.
There's a left hook after the right hand. And there's a left hook from Jackson that snaps Lewis's head back. Good left to the body from Jackson.
Take that advice, although he's taking a lot of punishment along with it.
A vicious combination by Lewis. That time, a skillfully constructed 4-punch combination.
And short.
After taking some stiff punishment from Lewis, there was Jackson's best punch of the fight.
Round 7, Lennox Lewis landed 45 out of 67 punches. That's 67%. For Lewis, he's begun to find the left hook. A little bit of learning on the job here.
What did I do wrong? This is why Jackson should jab. Use your jab. If you
Jackson's
can.
too busy eating rights and lefts right now, George.
I must agree.
A mercy stoppage might not be a bad idea. About Phil Jackson's right eye closing rapidly.
They're a skilled boxer. When you see a guy hurt like that, get him on out of there.
And you consider that the guy took a knee against Ruddock just a couple years ago.
He never give up. He had to be the standard bearer for it.
Right hand by Lewis after a couple of uppercuts. Jackson goes down and McCanty has seen enough. Butler Mercanti stops the fight. 1:25 remaining in the 8th, bringing to an end a siege of punishment over the course of the final 4 rounds of the bout by Lennox Lewis in the Atlantic City Convention Center. Let's take a look now at the final flurry that produced the knockdown.
And it was that final left hook starting to come in.
And I had mentioned about 40 seconds before that a mercy stoppage wouldn't be a bad idea. Clearly, Mercanti was thinking along the same lines, and that knockout was enough to convince him.
There's the left hook.
He started throwing that left hook in the last 3 rounds, and that made a huge difference for him.
The winner by TKO victory and still the undefeated WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.